duo, though, of the patch. Azir and K'Sante both banned out. Actually, Shurima right now has a power trio. You could get full Shurima synergy with full priority picks right now with Azir, Renekton, and K'Sante, and just do Renekton like jungle. You know, it's been done.
Oh,
before.
I was like, oh, who's going jungle? I guess the Renekton.
Or you could like support K'Sante. He'll probably be fine anywhere, right? These
throw back to Spring Split, support Azir, the Boostio.
Oh, hey!
Hey!
Oh, there we go. All right, boom.
Well, FlyQuest are going to open up with Rakan, something that Vulcan is very familiar with and comfortable on. It's a good start for FlyQuest if they want to get their first win of the split. Team Liquid going to go with the tried and true staple of that Vi.
Get your Vi now before it gets nerfed. A big hit on the ultimate cooldown coming on 13-13, the live patch. Team Liquid going to grab one more before that happens, though. We'll give you that guaranteed engage, and Shurima number 3, the one that got through the bans, the one that slipped through, and in the hands of Summit, who has been a substantial threat in the top lane. I do like it. Very good, easy blind pick for them. And let's see what Impact actually decides to answer with. He's been able to handle himself even in losing matchups on top side.
For FlyQuest, if they still want to go for team fighting power, obviously pairing that lovers duo, making sure you get the Xayah for yourself on Prince. If they want to lock in the Maokai now, that would be a great way to still make sure that you have that reliable, engaged point and click on the W there for Maokai. Or if you want even more team fighting power, a little bit more carry potential, you can go for the Wukong. I mean, it's kind of been the jungle trade we have seen for the past couple of weeks now. Team Liquid still can either make a change if they want to look for a priority mid laner, something like the Ahri that Haeri has gone to time and time again, then there it is.
Yeah, no hesitation on that one. Haeri loves his Ahri for sure. And now we get to protection band. The Poppy will be flexible. You can definitely jungle it for Spica there as well. If you wanted to play it, tank on top side, could play it into the Renekton. Let's see about which ones they want to target then. Because of the flexibility, makes it a little bit more difficult. Probably go mid laners ban out here. They take away the Jace in case they did want to do the Poppy top, Maokai jungle, Jace mid. Try and break up that game plan.
Taking off the Varus as well. I mean, it's been a strong bot laner for most AD carries who have adapted to it already, and flexible on the build path is, you already mentioned, because of that static shift, you can go into the AP route and it helps you kind of fill out the magic or the damage profile even better. But for Team Liquid, you already have a decent amount of magic damage in the Ahri. If you want to make her a solo AP threat, you can go for something a little bit more standard. Maybe we see...
They really don't want that game plan happening. They double hit the Jace Maokai.
Don't touch
mentioning. Yeah, you're not getting either part of it. Spica definitely is the premier Maokai lover in the LCS, so still worth the ban there.
I mean, that's still pretty on brand for if you're a jungler for FlyQuest.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me is my favorite team fighting jungle. It's so basic, so straightforward. CC the entire screen. Meanwhile, though, Team Liquid, of course, with their 1-2-3, they're showing once again, hey, buy into Ahri. Everybody knows. Pretty easy picks there, 100% to 0. Either Vicla or Spica, and both those players have been underperforming. FlyQuest across the board has been underperforming, but specifically those two are definitely easy targets. So I definitely agree with the strategy TL have shown pretty early here. And they're even going to throw down the CC from bottom lane here, the utility Ashe pickup.
Curious here from Team Liquid. I mean, you have global pick power now, and it makes engages with something like a Vi even more guaranteed that someone is just going to go down. I imagine that FlyQuest will be wanting to take cleanse if you are Prince, maybe even Vicla in the mid lane, depending on how much CC is coming through. But a Tristana pickup.
So they ban out the Jace to take away one of the AD mid laners, but FlyQuest go for the other premier one, the Tristana here for Vicla into the Ahri. You want to try and keep that push going, and we'll see if they can actually remain safe. They'll just go with the double AD carries, very light on the magic damage here for FlyQuest. Pretty much non-existent on the magic damage for FlyQuest. So very easy early armor itemization for Team Liquid. And And we'll see if FlyQuest can actually walk it forward. Very straightforward, though. They've got their hard engage with Sejuani and Rakan to try and make some space for those double AD carries. Team Liquid say, nice hard engage, we've got a Milio.
Yeah.
So actually fully denies that with the last pick here. And I gotta say, I love this TL draft a lot more than the FlyQuest one. We will see. I feel like a lot hinges on Vicla Spica combination, and that just hasn't been rewarding for FlyQuest so far this split. So hopefully for their sake, they can have some better performances out of those players, and the Xayah can keep himself safe with the ultimate for a little while.
The nice thing for Team Liquid, as you already highlighted, you have so much guaranteed backline access. Vi will always be able to lock down one person, and if the Xayah does not have her ulti, then the Ahri gets to have a super easy follow-up as well. Missile Mask, I don't know if that build is as good as on Sejuani as it is on champions like Maokai.
It's not.
Darn.
But still like the even shroud to try and amp there. We'll see about this mid lane push. On it, I definitely like the Vi Ahri combination still. Get it in on this patch before it gets nerfed. And the bottom lane provides so much utility for Team Liquid. But let's see, FlyQuest, can they get their rally caps on, get their first win of summer here? We may have started 0-6, but nobody beats FlyQuest 7 times in a row, right?
Yeah.
Surely not.
I think
Surely.
Yeah, I think for Dignitas last spring it was 9 times before they got a win, you know, and then maybe there you go. Prince himself, 0-6 was to gain momentum.
So the thing about momentum is that momentum builds up in the same direction. That's the whole point. That's what momentum is all based on. So if you're building up momentum going 0-6, your momentum is all going 0. It's all going losses.
You know,
it's
you know, not the correct word, but you know, the idea is there.
We've got some kind of momentum. Our momentum is going straight to the bottom, and we're already at the bottom. So
now for FlyQuest, they need to reverse that momentum.
yes, reverse polarities, quick.
Something.
Yeah.
Force here equal opposite reaction force. Anyway. Sorry, just had to intake my copium here. And the FlyQuest so far in the early games seems pretty stock standard. The story that we know about Team Liquid so far this split is they've been one of the most dominant lane teams across the board. Evil Geniuses is probably the only other team that is kind of beating them on a substantial margin. Pyosik has been leading the top of the leaderboard for junglers in terms of just KDA and overall presence. I think that Lee Sin game was still probably one of the most remarkable games he's had this entire year.
Okay, but what have you shown me recently, huh? Show me something right now, this game. Big Vi ultimate mechanics. Boom!
He's crossing to the jungle. Look at that go.
And of course, he has been scouted on that, so should be full information for FlyQuest. Those 2 red quadrant wards getting the updated timers as the top one just now disappears on the Vi. So they know very well Pyosik is clearing towards bottom side. And of course, Vi is a scaling jungler, is much more a jungler to play off of your lanes, is all about the CC that she's going to bring to it. Isn't going to do any kind of fancy 1v1s versus anybody. So isn't the champion to have that big YouTube highlight styling play. And we'll just be patient until he gets to link up with those teammates.
Yeah.
But nice thing for him, you know, pushing towards bottom side, can easily play off that bottom lane matchup.
Yeon takes a bit of damage here from both Vulcan and Prince. Forced to use the Ghost early. And I think that was also a summoner spell from Vulcan just to try and lock him down for further bursts, as he's going to give Prince a little bit of relief in terms of the health department.
Okay, +1 on the sums. Good little blade collar as well. And Yeon is fairly low, so might be hard.
Oh, the flash from Vulcan. It's an answered flash from Yeon, but now, I mean, Prince has double summoner spell advantage in mid lane. Spica is dueling Pyosik and Haeri, but Vicla was forced out of the fight, and Spica now needs to retreat because he cannot back up any more damage.
Yeah, that 2v2 we have our eyeballs on. Round 1, Raafaa goes to Team Liquid.
Yep.
Success here. Pyosik gets there. They counter it, and Vicla, no flash. Actually, I didn't see the very beginning of it as it was in the picture-in-picture. And Pyosik also using his flash. I'm going to guess that it was offensively used so he could Q flash. But
hit Vicla right.
We'll see about the origins.
Yeah. Now, it's always good to trade jungle flash for a mid laner flash. I think the difficult thing, though, against Vicla is if Vicla times his buffer jump right, he can always even get out of something like a charm. So it's going to have to be pristine timing from Haeri and Pyosik to see if they can punish now the summoner spell being down on Vicla.
So the charm breaks movement blocks. So here it is, the Q flash, yep. I was looking at the bottom lane matchup, but once that happens, you're pushed out. And ping down onto Sejuani as he comes over towards the river entrance as well. So Spica's whereabouts fully known.
This wave is building up for Team Liquid's bottom lane at the moment, but Yeon, with having no summoner spells, means that he needs Pyosik to be on the same side of the map. Otherwise, it is dangerous for him to walk up here. Pyosik shows in the river, but Spica is here first. And the bot lane pressure means that he gets to push Pyosik momentarily off and protect his control ward. So for now, it's a little difficult for bot lane to operate.
Little love tap. Love bump out of the river. Gets to clear out the control wards as well. A jungle victory for Team Liquid. And all that investment of vision resources around mid lane definitely paying off for them. Bottom lane can just rotate up here to help out with Dragon DPS. We see a rotation back for Sejuani while Vicla jumps in onto Haeri to try and get mid lane prio. So they want to contest this. Sejuani is walking. These are only 600 damage smites, so it's not low enough. Pyosik's by himself.
Yeah, and he doesn't have flash, so he's forced to use the ball breaker just to get out. And now, yeah, TY for leash. FlyQuest should be able to secure this, as Spica does have smite. And that's first dragon over for FlyQuest. No one goes down yet from either team, but he finds the Charm into Prince, but it's a beautiful cleanse that gets him out. And the rest of FlyQuest are able to walk out scot-free.
Haeri's got one more charge, but everybody's gone away, and they should be able to just reset for the push. Hey, there you go. FlyQuest with a little heist of their own. They rotate Sejuani right back. Immediately, they get there in time. Pyosik left by himself in the Dragon Pit, has to exit. Doesn't die, but still, giving up the Dragon here. FlyQuest, something to try and rally around, perhaps. Ahri did not have to flash, though, so he still has flash advantage against Vicla. And I would say, if I'm going to kill anyone, kill mid lane. Pyosik, get level 6. Haeri can just charm flash. Boom. Vicla should be toast.
Very easy setup as well, guaranteed. That's why you love to see that Vi Ahri combination doing so well for Team Liquid. As we take a look on the top side of the map, and it's been going the way of Summit so far, as we would expect with the Renekton matchup. I don't think we would need to see any jungle attention from either team so far. So I think CoreJJ also wants to be on this mid lane surprise gank as well, as he's already making his roam.
I haven't tracked the recent Hawk shots either, so I don't know if Yeon was able to scout out the camps that are up, but with topside camps up, if his last Hawk shot went over, they should be able to assume Spica's up here on topside with his level 6 around the Rift Trail, and they are going to do so. So Pyosik comes over to try and get some vision.
Just a soft start from Spica. Can't really commit to finishing yet until he has the full confidence that Team Liquid are not going to answer back.
Top laner's fighting the 1v1 to get priority into River too, and Summit is losing it, so Summit is toast.
Yeah, he slammed him. He got the double slice and dice, but the Glacial Prison and the Permafrost is beautiful timing as well. First blood over for FlyQuest, and Haeri's in a world of trouble because he's been rattled up. FlyQuest!
They're doing it!
2-0 start! And this is promising to be netting their first win of the summer.
Oh, it certainly is. I don't know what the comms there for Team Liquid were, but Summit was rushing headlong into a 2v1. Spica had a good, several meters there of advantage to get to the 2v2 quicker. And so Summit's battling Impact just to get over to Rift Trail into Spica's waiting arms. That looked like a very easy wall bang for Impact. He just flashes for the angle to get the stun set up. Didn't even have to flash for it. Huh?
I just walked up.
Someone just walked up right next to the wall with a Poppy chasing him into a Sejuani. And the support roam from Vulcan able to get there first, so it's even a double kill for the big hammer. Impact. That Sunfire cape, there's your magic damage. Nice.
And I mean, when you get ahead with tanks, people always meme about like putting investment into tanks, but if you don't have the damage that actually takes down tanks, they just walk all over your backline and they force them out of the fight. And it just usually nets in advantages for team fights for FlyQuest to go further. And the fact that they got the first dragon as well, this is great. Double objectives at the start of the game here, Kobe.
They're doing it, Raafaa. Okay. Our expectations have dropped dramatically for this FlyQuest team because of the 0-6 start, but this is looking like a nice setup for themselves. I mean, they got all neutral objectives by chasing Pyosik out and stealing the dragon, then also getting this Rift Herald, plus the freely handed to them Renekton bundle pack along with the Rift Herald. And things are going smooth now with that Sunfire fully created. That thing does a lot of damage for tanks, okay? That will stack up very, very quickly. And Impact, as you said, can just run straight into your face. So they do just that. And see about Dragon number 2 spawning, because FlyQuest all going really, really nicely for them. Rotate down towards bottom side. They do have Spica crossing over the vision, but Vicla never did, so...
Oh, Charm, after he already used the bust, the jump, and now he gets another one right out of there. Spica there for the turn, forcing Haeri to get out. And now Pyosik is all by himself. He's forced to use the Ball Breaker away. That's 2 ultimate spells already used, and FlyQuest should have prior for this next dragon.
He did it! He got the timing right. That is a hard timing to hit. He lived. Did cost him the flash, but... they're able to do it just in time for Dragon 2 spawn.
I mean, Yeon and CoreJJ are fighting desperately to maintain wave prio, but they do not have their jungler and they do not have their mid laner ready to collapse, so they have to be careful. They have to respect Spica's presence.
All right, so with the teleports back out, now we started up. FlyQuest, can you keep it? There's no Ahri or Vi ultimate, so that mid jungle loses so much of the power that you draft them for, and it should be a FlyQuest dragon. Pyosik's going to mess around though.
Vicla has Buster Shot. Maybe he can just punt Pyosik out if he gets close for a threat here. But now Vulcan turns it on. The charm from the quickness and the grand entrance knocks up Pyosik. He's got nowhere to run, but CoreJJ with the Breath of Life tries to give Pyosik a way out of there, but Prince cuts him off with the Feather Storm and the Blade Caller. Now they got Haeri and Yeon on the other side fighting Vicla. 2 for Nail. It's a trade, and Spica's still alive, but the dragon reset, and Spica might be too low to take this dragon by himself. So FlyQuest have to dip. CoreJJ still on the right side of the map. Impact punts out 1 out, and I think in the end, Kobe, no one is getting this dragon.
Nobody's getting it yet. We go 1 for 1. Pyosik down and trade for Vicla, and we can return for round 3 of the dragon. Let's take another look. So Q starts in. Vulcan makes the difference on the top side skirmish, jumps over to Spica. They get the knock up onto Haeri. They charm up Pyosik, but CoreJJ jumps forward, tries to flash in to get the ultimate to heal him up, while Prince is trying to finish off inside the pit. The dragon resets though, and he heads on up. Vicla couldn't get out of that one, so gets hit with that charm. And now we return to the scene of the crime.
Round 2, baby. Let's go. Now, Rift Herald being spawned by FlyQuest is going to give them some plates in the mid lane, and Vicla's in range to receive full run of the gold. Yeon is here mid lane to fight for wave prio, but the rest of Team Liquid are already on top of the dragon, and it looks like there's no contest from FlyQuest, so the second dragon goes to TL.
Okay. They claim the prize in the end. FlyQuest, they relinquish control of the river by rotating their duo up to top side, with Prince and Vulcan up on top side. They are going to be able to pressure on tower, get some extra money up here, but splitting dragons 1 and 1. See if they can get some more time, some more money on those double marksmen to be able to carry their team fights. Meanwhile, Yeon's got his ultimate available, so Ashe plus Ahri Vi play in the making. And the Ashe is mid, so easier Ashe arrows. Always want to fire those from Fog of War, so he can just hover up to either top side or bottom side of mid lane if he wants to try and make a pick.
Impact is so rich. I mean, he's almost on his way to completing his second item as well. He's got the Aegis complete halfway. I mean, this Sunfire Cape. I have to ask Kobe, if you're a Team Liquid fan, are you concerned that you don't have damage to take out this Poppy? Because I don't know how consistent Trinity Force Ashe is in terms of like consistent DPS. It seems more like a poke build.
Yeah, I mean, any Ashe build is going to be a little bit okay.
I mean, Summon might be in trouble. This is a 1-on-3. He's got the double slice and dice, Glacial Prison, and the charm and the quickness and everything. I mean, FlyQuest are just making sure that Summon has no way out to guarantee that kill.
They should be able to... oh, Pyosik wants a counter here with CoreJJ. They don't have a lot of damage, though.
They didn't really want to go for him. A Wall Breaker was used, but no cease and desist. Vicla does not get a chance to take out the turret.
Personally, I do like the Trinity Force build right now. I think Trinity Force is in a very, very healthy spot with the stats allocated to it. See about the changes coming up, but Ashe is a lot about these arrows. Starting up the Rift Herald himself at the moment. And since they do have a lot of burst damage there for Team Liquid with their Ahri combination with their Vi, try and end the game a little bit earlier. Rift Herald number 2 can help them out in that endeavor.
TL are able to bounce back with both of these objectives swung their way. Gold lead isn't in anyone's favor, so the game is even, and that means, at least for FlyQuest, who benefit from having a longer game with getting a beefier and sturdier front line as the game goes on.
Let's see, they rotate the Ahri to answer this fed Poppy on top side with the extra kills that Impact got early. So that Sunfire Cape not going to do as much, but he's already got an Aegis as well. Should be able to still put pressure on the Poppy, and yeah, thank you for the picture-in-picture observers. No damage to Poppy. Decent little chunk there onto the Ahri. So even the switch here to have Haeri on the top side is going to be a power deficit for Team Liquid as they push him out on bottom side of the map.
Definitely just seems like a dance between the both teams of just maintaining wave control and just fighting for vision and push on the bottom side of the map, as the next objective is going to be that third dragon of the game. This is Infernal, and it would be nice to acquire more adaptive force bonus percentages as the further the game goes on.
Boom, demolished. Impact still gets the turret. Haeri down to 50% health. Just keeps on eating onto the minions. Taxi up to that Ahri, get the trade. Tower traded on bottom side of the map too, though. With the Renekton getting it as well. Full gold for Summit to be able to keep him fairly competitive and close. Poppy definitely going to do a lot more for you in the team fights at this stage, though. See how good it is. Oh,
Vicla, they pop the Dominus, and now Vicla has nowhere to run unless he still has a jump. He uses it after, and he has the flash, but CoreJJ might cut him off. The soccer ball interrupts him, and now Summon is cut off Impact from getting any sort of revenge kill.
Ashe
and
arrow,
it's
maybe?
45 seconds before the Dragon. They're looking for Spica now. Vault Breaker connects. Vulcan still has Charm and Quickness, but he's not going to use it. Spica's just forced to use Flash. The Charm connects now, and now Vulcan might be forced to use a Grand Entrance to buy time for his jungler. They need to make sure that Spica stays alive because the Dragon is spawning in 30 seconds.
Looks like they should be able to get it no problem. With Rift Herald down mid, they can just pop that one, fully take mid tower here. Recall pretty early for Summit on bottom lane, so TL going to go for the reset. Charge number 2 also gets off, leaves a dent in this secondary turret, and TL with the Summit reset is going to head on over for that Dragon spawn. Currently, it looks like FlyQuest sending Vicla top side. They don't want any part of this. Vicla has teleport though, and nah.
Yeah, it's too late at this point. And Spica, no Glacial Prison either. There's no way for him to start a fight right for FlyQuest. Thought Impact was going to try to look for something cheeky, maybe Keeper's Verdict to punt them out, but he had no vision of the pit. So third Dragon of the game goes over to Team Liquid, so 2 away from Soul. I'm going to be honest, Kobe, this game is a lot tamer than I thought it was going to be. I thought both of these teams were going to be making a lot more aggressive moves, and maybe more so for TL, but it seems like they've been far more measured in this game than their summer split of
So
the opening.
coming into this week, Team Liquid did have the highest gold advantage in the early game,
Yeah.
just barely over Evil Geniuses on average. So I think you're spot on with that expectation of having them be more aggressive, but with FlyQuest getting a couple of those early wins, stealing away the dragon, getting the early Rift Herald as well, feels like that's the reason we're in this scenario now. And props to FlyQuest to be able to kind of change the course of what has so far been their summer split. Now looking bot side for the dive onto Haeri, who has flash and ultimate, so he shouldn't even be in danger.
It definitely seems like this is more in the comfort zone of FlyQuest, because we know that when TL has been able to get those strong early game leads, while in spring it was a weakness for them not being able to close it out, summer they've done a better job. But now that they're at even in terms of gold with FlyQuest, it seems a lot harder for them to be decisive in what moves they want to make. And I don't know if you want to be a team that is being passive with this type of composition. You have these engage tools, you need to find opportunities to use them.
Certainly do. TL will run out of damage later in the game, for sure. And the double marksman will not, because both of these marksmen scale better and do higher DPS than Ashe. Ashe is definitely much more utility, looking for the engages, so we'll see what Team Liquid can do to try and push this pace, really make use of the pick champions that they've drafted for themselves. Looks like they're doing that now. Group up, get some vision, find some areas where they can Ashe arrow, Ahri and Vi follow up. FlyQuest, they just need to keep playing a little bit of defense. Get a couple more items on Tristana and Xayah, and they should be able to set themselves up with some pretty advantageous team fights later on, since they got that early dragon chasing out Pyosik.
Yeah.
Also won't feel too much pressure to fight on any bad setups.
I mean, if Team L are not going to be able to make any decisive moves anytime soon, FlyQuest are just chilling with this at this rate. It's like, oh, we got a chance to scale and continue farming our double marksman. Man, this is great.
Did you say Team L? Because that is so funny if they lose.
That was not intentional, I promise. I meant to say TL, and it is just a little bit of a fumble.
Well, we will see. Is it going to be TL dub or is it going to be Team L?
Oh, no.
Currently, they've got 200 gold lead and a dragon lead, so we'll see if the scaling comes into question. Haeri doing his best to make a dent in this Poppy, but that is difficult. In fact, with the extra shield as well as a little bit of juke boots. Oh, they're going for impact. They're sending the whole squad at him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a tank, but if he's all by himself, it depends on how well he can use this Keeper's Verdict. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow does not hit its mark. They land the Cease and Desist into Charm combo. Impact slams Pyosik against the wall, and he uses the W, the Steadfast Presence, and he's out of there. That was like 2 ultis for nothing.
So, generally, you want to use your setup guaranteed CC like by ultimate to wait on the follow-up like your Ashe that's harder to hit. But they went for the Ashe arrow without getting the setup first. Maybe he thought, oh, he's out of range. Unless I hit him, then we won't get in range for it. But that is just going to be another whiff for Team Liquid. And Raafaa, those are the exact tools, the key tools of the composition that we said they had to use right now to be able to get themselves some gold. And with all of those going on cooldown and whiffing, this is going to make this dragon setup a little bit more difficult. 35 seconds on that dragon will be enough time for those cooldowns to come back up. But it's not just about when dragon is up, it's about setup for that dragon. And now you're facing a really dark map because during the setup for it, you don't have cooldowns.
Yeah, you cannot walk up, otherwise you're going to get hit in the face with a Glacial Prison. You're going to get slammed against the wall by Poppy, and there's nothing that you have in your arsenal to fire on back.
Yeah. Now they do, though, and the last of the cooldowns has come back for them, so it's going to be, again, into FlyQuest vision coverage if they wanted to force anything.
All right, well, TL know that FlyQuest want to burn down this dragon. They walked over Crab, but this is going to force FlyQuest to send some members, at least, to answer on the Baron. They're burning it down decently fast. Spica's here on the river. I don't know if Spica can get it.
Okay. He had a Blade Caller to be able to finish it. I like it. They stop it as well.
Oh, they look for Vicla, but he's able to use the rocket jump to get out, but Haeri with a follow-up, almost looking for a beautiful flash over the wall.
I was very critical. I was like, I don't know if he's going to be able to get these rocket jumps off, Raafaa, but you called it. He got him off.
He's been timing it well, and Vicla's out of there, and he might be able to teleport back into the fight as long as FlyQuest can stay alive. Impact is living to the very bitter end. He's out of there, and Team Liquid still don't find any members of FlyQuest down within lethal range, and I feel like TL just used all of their tools there.
And they got nothing. FlyQuest deny them. FlyQuest even take from them mid-turret too. That charm also misses. Teleport comes in for Team Liquid. They're hoping they can still find something, but FlyQuest have just outplayed, and I think you're just gonna get outscaled now. If it didn't happen there in the mid 20-minute mark for Team Liquid, FlyQuest are on their road to their first victory of summer. Can they stay on the road, Raafaa?
That's the big question, right? I mean, we've definitely faced situations before where we're like, oh my gosh, they're gonna come back, they're gonna do it. And then late game happens, and when late game mistakes occur, it doesn't matter how well you've been doing for the first 20-something minutes of the game. The death timers are so long. Impact, you gotta not die, buddy. TL are doing everything they can to take down this tank, and Impact is still living through it. Haeri's looking for a pick, but Vicla just walks out just fine. FlyQuest are the epitome of resilience in this game.
Holy moly. All right, well, nobody dies again, and we have the reset on map state. It's currently in control for vision for TL, but they don't have that same threat of, oh, we're gonna burn down Baron. Our DPS is insanely low on Team Liquid. Their turn potential is great, but FlyQuest should know they don't have to be too desperate with any of their face checking. So they can wait, reset, move back in as a group. They've been able to replenish their stock of control wards. Team Liquid, the only game plan, look on these pockets of Fog of War for picks.
I mean, they keep looking for picks, but they keep finding it on the Impact, and Impact is not going to be the person that goes down. He's just way too durable.
Yeah, there's not much DPS on the side of Team Liquid.
I'm going to try again. Ball Breaker connects on the two tanks. I don't think those two tanks are going on any way. Man, this seems so hopeless for Team Liquid because FlyQuest are always having the right members in at the right time to face check and give control for FlyQuest in these choke points.
Yeah, and you can see, even when Ahri builds for tank busting, as Summit is under attack again.
Glacial Prison, but Breath of Life cleanses it out. Team Liquid are able to now fight on proper battle lines. Impact is taking a lot of damage, but he's still not going down anytime soon. Vicla, rocket jumps back to safety, but once again, FlyQuest don't drop a single member. Team Liquid, they're gonna throw everything in the Hail Mary basket. I think they just have to force this Baron.
Yeah, they still have Ahri ultimate and Vi ultimate here, so they can start it up, start burning through it. Maybe they can punish Vicla. Prince has everything, so it's hard to get on this Xayah.
Keeper's Verdict is still available for Impact, but he's low, so he would have to put himself into dangerous point-blank range to threaten Team Liquid at a deficit in a numbers advantage. Team Liquid are still on the Baron. Vicla is remaining in vision. Vicla just forces it. Oh, but the charm connects! He was looking for the butcher shot, but Haeri steps back on up with the flash, answers back, and finally Team Liquid find a pick. But the Baron, I think it's reset. They're trying to hold on to it as long as they can.
Oh, Vicla went face first into it. All right, Raafaa, with the Baron reset, I think that's going to be the end of it. But it is still, oh my goodness, that Tristana jump into the Ahri. Haeri, even though he gets knocked away, if he gets the charm off, catch the charm, he nails that one. And Vicla just used rocket jump in, so he goes down immediately here. With the advantage of the double AD carries, the double AD carries have to play DPS role here, especially into a pick comp. You don't want to be super aggressive. You need your front line to be doing all of the setup. Don't want the AD carries to be doing any of it in a double AD carry comp with multiple CC frontliners here for you. So TL pretty happy with that pick, but it should not be a repeated occurrence from FlyQuest. Impact might find one in the Raptor pit.
Impact has a great flank here. Battle lines are a little weird for Team Liquid. Their back line is separated, but they're chasing off Vicla into the mid-turret while the rest of Team Liquid force off the front line of FlyQuest, and it's just 6 seconds before the Dragon comes up. It's not Soul, but Team Liquid gaining this would be at Soul point.
Yeah, Yeon Ashe is actually doing a lot of work here. forcing Vicla out again, and the health chunks are enough to get Dragon number 3. If they can collect Infernal Soul, that could be the extra little bit of damage that they need with this comp to just squeeze it out. Because we've seen, it's definitely difficult for TL to deal with the tanks right now. They still have the damage and the threat to chunk out these AD carries, so if Vicla is far forward, they've constantly been trying to chunk him out. And maybe the Divine Sunder double black cleavers, Landry's and Void Staff will be enough for the rest of TL to finish off those members. Summit is in.
They didn't have vision, and he throws himself in there, but they stopped the Baron take for now. Xayah is onto the back line here of FlyQuest. Vulcan is dead, but they already took out Yeon, so now it's just up to Haeri to see if he can output damage. Pyosik is gone as well. There's no smite for FlyQuest. They should be able to burn it down. They have the smite advantage for Spica. They just need to bully off the rest of Team Liquid, and FlyQuest did look dicey there, but they net themselves the Baron.
Ooh, let's see. Off the reset. Okay, they're not even going to fully reset. Push topside here very quickly with Vicla on the Tristana. Take away the red buff as well. It's happening, Raafaa. They're doing it. Now they just have to worry about that Dragon Soul in 3:45 coming up. We'll see if they can get some of these secondary towers during their siege time with Baron and then clean. Let's take a look at the initiation, though, onto Rakan. I mean, even with the Vi ultimate all the way through onto Prince, Pyosik got blown up. Meanwhile, Vicla absolutely demolished the Ashe on the other side of the screen. That was a good offensive rocket jump. Vicla blasted him that time around, and now he's got a stopwatch, Raafaa, so you better believe Vicla's going in again.
Yes, sir. This time he'll have a stasis to protect him. Oh, but they're looking, and they find the target that they want, but Vulcan is still getting out alive. Summit has the TP flank. Haeri can look over the wall. Spirit rushing in, following up on Summit's engage. Vulcan has already been taken out. They get the Vault Breaker. Impact is forced to flash away. Haeri can still follow up with another charm if he can get in range, but he's already used all 3 Spirit Rushes charges, and Impact still gets out alive.
Good denial, steadfast presence there from Impact to keep the losses at just Vulcan going down. Teleport around in Haeri's face.
Oh, it's Impact, and Haeri, I don't think he has the damage equipped to take down this Poppy, especially now that she's full HP and there's no Spirit Rush, and that is the shutdown for Impact.
Impact says, nice tank-busting build. With the Landry's, with the Void Staff, don't care. Teleports in his face, Ahri's got nothing left. Impact, not only does he get out alive, but he even evens up the kills, and with Baron buff, that means in the end, FlyQuest actually still do get to keep pushing.
Tension is at an all-time high here, Kobe, and I'm pretty sure blood pressure is at an all-time high for FlyQuest fans looking at home. They've been wanting a win so desperately this entire summer split, and they keep seeing inklings of like, oh, is this maybe the game? Is this maybe the game where we finally start off on a good foot? It hasn't been done yet, but things look promising here for FlyQuest.
All right, no curse. No caster curse here. Remnants of the Baron buff aren't going to be able to get anything more. They did get the mid lane secondary tower, though, so opening up this blue jungle quadrant leading up to the dragon is kind of the key part. So they can get that vision down preemptively before the Dragon Soul sets up. And now they've got both their marksmen at level 16s for FlyQuest. So the scaling is working, all according to plan here. Double level 16 carries, double quick blades.
You even have the Lord Dominic's for Prince, so he can shred through whatever front line that Team Liquid decide to send in on these engages. This is a very strong composition now for FlyQuest at this point in the game, almost 34 minutes in. Dragon coming up in 45 seconds. FlyQuest establishing proper vision lines. Team Liquid cannot hope to walk in without at least sending one person to face check that could be facing the other end of a Glacial Prison.
The jungle is dark and full of terrors. Vicla finishes off the blue. He's out, no problem. Hawkshot allows them to move up a little bit here. Onto the edge for Haeri, fishing around for a possible pick. He checks the pixel brush. Nobody inside. but FlyQuest are able to push out mid first and then use mid to walk into the river.
Charm does hit on the Vulcan, but it's not the target that they want to look for. Yeon is putting a decent amount of work on the impact. He's shredded about 1/3 of his HP. That's one way to start off the fight.
Nice little chase from him. Haeri on the top side looking for the flank, but I believe that can... They saw him enter to that side. Blast comes available as well. Yeah, they saw.
Object permanence is not a problem for FlyQuest. They remember where he is. And Impact is marking that right side of the flank. They look for the charm and the spirit rush in, but he keeps up the steadfast presence, so he denies one charge in. But Team Liquid have the health advantage on their front line, so they push out FlyQuest, and that is soul secured for Team Liquid.
That might be the extra little bit of damage that they need. You saw there the lasting impact of the extra burn damage, and Dragon being picked up. I don't know. Maybe the caster curse is real. Because Team Liquid,
don't say that.
Team Liquid, they should be able to get a tower too. That's some more money. Their carries are catching up a little bit in levels. Vicla and Prince still have one extra, but Vicla's about to go down.
Yeah, they vault breaker in. They don't even need the cease and desist. They just walk on up and down smash this guy. Summit, and now he gets to push out this wave, and the rest of TL get the reset.
Baron. Who can get there first to move over your vision? Looks like off this reset, we'll have TL led by the Hawk shots come straight over. On the other side, Vicla still another 30 seconds left on the death timer. So FlyQuest will do their best to keep some good vision and buy that 20 seconds. Thankfully for Vicla, for FlyQuest, he does have his teleport ready too, so TL have to be a little bit worried, a little bit at least cognizant of the fact that he could teleport in immediately upon arrival, but FlyQuest will have to face check. And Sejuani shows mid.
Impact. Could you send a Keeper's Verdict and knock them out? But the Baron is already secured, and they're going to look for the fight in the turn. The charm, the quickness, Vicla and Spica come in for reinforcements, but no one can access Yeon into the backline. If he keeps firing, then he's out of there, but he's forced to flash because FlyQuest are able to take out the front line. Baron buff is secured for Team Liquid, but two members do go down.
Impact is the hero FlyQuest need right now, and he finds it again. The same wall, Raafaa, up by Baron Pit. This time it's Haeri in front of the wall, and Impact nails him again, tackle into the wall, get the kills for FlyQuest. Baron was already secured by TL though, so they only dropped 2 members. They still get the Baron. We'll see if it's worth it, but nice instant move there from Impact. Gets the kill onto Haeri at the beginning, so from that moment on, TL know, hey, we have to abandon ship. We got to get out of here. Everybody try and escape. Summit runs towards base so they can try and draw the rest of the members, and they're able to get everybody else out alive. So they have the Baron buff, but honestly, they probably won't be able to do too much with it. And that Baron power play is currently negative from it.
Team Liquid have been able to secure these objectives, but FlyQuest still seems so powerful in these team fighting engagements. They're just not finding enough members to be able to close the game off of that fight.
And Prince has been able to get the QSS in addition to his cleanse. Even though the cleanse is on cooldown now, QSS is ready. So he's got Xayah ultimate, flash, and QSS. So many buttons to hit to avoid this engage from TL. But can they actually carry these team fights? Cosmic Drive also picked up by Haeri, playing the long con here with the Ahri build. Extra move speed, a lot of ability haste in that build. Extra burn damage and magic pen. See if it works out. Ashe as well. You mentioned the Lord Doms on the side of FlyQuest. Yeon has his now too. So it's really going to be about who makes the engage. Who gets first jump here? Who can execute? Baron buff at a -1,000 now.
I mean, Team Liquid have not been able to get any objectives off of this push. The 2 immediate deaths means that it's been hard for them to find any avenues to look for inhibitor towers, and just the amount of tools that FlyQuest have to engage. Team Liquid just feel the pressure of stepping too far forward could be their last mistake.
Well, they can at least be happy that Prince and Vicla can't level anymore. So they're capped out on 18. Unfortunately, it does mean Tristana has full range now. So that becomes a bit more difficult to team fight around. They do have the advantage, though, in Milio CC denial, plus lots of opportunities to try and pick and kill with all of the penetration coming in. Any of these targets. Looks like more of the ward work being done by FlyQuest. Although the couple small straggling wards from Team Liquid are actually doing a lot of work. A lot of value from that one. Sees the rest of the members here move in.
It has been so tough for FlyQuest this game. And you can see that there have been moments every time that they are able to almost secure the win for themselves. They've been super resilient. They've answered back against a team that has been super dominant in the early game. They withstood the pressure. They took over the early objectives, and they gave themselves a nice scaling pass into this late part of the game where everything could end at this elder.
Summit teleports in. They push the top lane all the way up to that secondary turrets. FlyQuest coming to answer now. Here comes Impact.
TPing onto the mid wave. Vicla getting an early access to the minion wave, trying to get wave prio guaranteed. Elder spawns in 17 seconds. Summon engages onto Impact, but he's not doing really any damage to this guy. As the rest of FlyQuest now speeding on in as a group, trying to get first access into the Dragon, but waiting to see if Team Liquid step too far forward. You can fish for a Vulcan engage, for a Glacial Prison from Spica. Pyosik trying to look for a really long flank, but Impact is marking him. And now they have time to just burn down the Dragon because Pyosik is nowhere near. If you burn down the Elder Dragon and Pyosik doesn't get in range, but now the time is starting to dwindle down, 6,000 HP. Pyosik can get in range, looking for the Vault Breaker. The Impact on the left side, Glacial Prison is thrown out. They look for the engaged Vulcan right into the front line. Impact goes right on in. Prince is free, firing all these feathers. No one is touching Vulcan. No one is touching Prince. Haeri's trying to look for the back line, but Prince is unattacted. But Yeon takes out a full stretch Vulcan down. They find Impact. Prince flashes forward. He still has the featherstorm to use it, and Prince steps up. It is huge. Could this be the time? FlyQuest fans, do they get to rejoice? Prince steps up and takes out Team Liquid.
All right, Summit's here. He wants to do something crazy. He's got flash, teleport in for Haeri.
No way. No, it's gone. Elder Dragon is gone.
Run, get out of there. Oh my goodness. Even with the early Blade Caller, they still get all the rest of the kills. Now, so Spica's not hitting Dragon here, so they're talking in comms probably about the turn straight from 100%. And so then they go for it off of Vulcan's knockup. They get the double knockup, but the redemption from the jungle here actually comes in with big healing. And with the Guardian Angel for Summit, they actually get a frontline advantage. Look at all the poke damage. Prince is the only one on FlyQuest left with HP. He's the only one who could save this fight, and he does. He steps up, he pushes every last member of TL off. Even with the early Blade Caller on the revival there, they still win the fight. They still burn down that Elder, and Raafaa, he may have just barely pushed them across the finish line. Elder means you get Baron, means you get to push hard towards TL's base.
It is the one moment of the game where Prince can no longer sit on the back line. He has to step up and find the aggressive angle, and he does not get punished. He executes just enough to give them the Elder Dragon, the Baron buff on their side. FlyQuest have now both of the strongest buffs in the game. Team Liquid are now on the back foot.
Okay. Slowly but surely, can they get inside? TL, no. We don't want to fight Elder. We want to wait it out. 1 more minute left on this Elder.
And for FlyQuest, that means it's free access into the base. Inhibitor 1 falls in their favor.
Oh, be careful about any little bits of poke damage as well. FlyQuest get number 1 on top side. Number 2 falling very quickly. And they still have 45 seconds. The time looks good for them. TL focusing on minion waves. Really difficult. You don't want to take the fight because of Elder, and it's difficult to kill the minions because of the Baron.
Last-ditch effort maybe from Team Liquid could be the only hope they have to salvage this game. FlyQuest on the brink of ending the losing streak, of ending the memes as FlyQuest. They need 1 more Nexus turret, and now it's just an empty Nexus. Can they hit it? Team Liquid will do everything to block them out. split.
Whew. Not even close. Easy peasy. First win of the split.